Hey guys, welcome to Black Games Reviews. Sorry for the delay in uploads. We've got an interesting conversation to have today concerning the Geeks and Gamers live stream on Uche, where they raised funds for suicide prevention with Zack Snyder as a marquee guest. And when he came on, he had this kind of run-of-the-mill kind of NPC disclaimer about not being associated with Geeks and Gamers aside from that stream and whatnot. And right away afterwards, everyone was outraged. Apparently, all the chat was enraged and stuff. And it's you got to realize the situation this guy's in. He works for Hollywood. This is a fan movement, the Snyder Cut, to get it. And he forego a paycheck. He didn't get 1 cent to come back and finish this film the way he envisioned. It was to have more creative control of it. And it's kind of, with streaming, a new endeavor. If this pans out, this could affect DCU going forward. Probably not likely with Walter Amato. But nonetheless, this is a big moment for fan direction. Last thing I can remember like this in mainstream entertainment was Sonic, which I didn't see, don't care, but is good for the effect that fans had at hey, this looks like crap, fix it, and fans rewarded it with a pretty good box office, if I recall, before the pandemic, which wrecked the industry. And this could be a way going forward for future movies or, meddling by entertainment corporations and whatnot. At the end of the day, I don't think Snyder would have interacted with the group, Geeks and Gamers, or Phantom Menace names, channels and whatnot, if not for the cause. And, he's got to watch his back. He's got to stay relevant. People are looking at this wrong, in my opinion. The only people on our side publicly who aren't, who have some relevancy going forward is Gina Carano thus far, and she's been blacklisted for espousing quote-unquote conservative ideas, but I think just common sense ideas about the lockdowns and whatnot and cancel culture. And she's working with Ben Shapiro. She's doing what people are getting behind, what I've been saying we should be doing for a while now, which is kind of like Comicsgate. Make your own stuff if you got a problem. Still enjoy and critique the mainstream market and hopefully have a say. But they put their heels in the sand. They're going a certain direction with identity politics and diversity for diversity's sake, for virtue points. It's not going to change anytime soon, if ever. And generally speaking, the independent sphere is 100 years plus behind Hollywood. And we're 3 years behind when we could have started this kind of thing with Solo and The Last Jedi really getting all of us together at the start. We've kind of gone nowhere. Comicsgate has worked to some degree, but the mainstream's kind of forgot them, and they're still chugging along to whatever success or detriment that will be. The IPs we love are in the hands of Hollywood, of Warner Brothers and Disney and a couple other corporations, Universal, Sony, perhaps. And honestly, the end of this stream and afterwards, the only thing you should be saying is thank you, Zack Snyder, for coming on and trying to build some rapport with someone who still has some relevance wherever that may go in the future with entertainment for Zack Snyder's career. But to have this outrage, it feels a lot like when you're red pill aware. This is a effeminate reaction. Men don't start drama. Women do. It's kind of part of the psyche. And but men will react if pressed, if it matters. This was kind of a non-thing. You should expect this kind of thing from someone in Hollywood or just corporate kind of jargon. The fact that he stated this tells me that there's still pieces on the table with DC and Snyder, depending on the success and whatnot. Even though this has been called a cul-de-sac film, well, it remains to be seen with this multiverse. I just think it was very unbecoming. There's posts like Nerdrog's talking about I stand against pedophilia or something, which is seems to be a response kind of condemning subtly that Snyder working in Hollywood is with pedophiles. And it's just like, you're all on board when your buddies get the stream and the publicity it could come with it, but then something small like this comes along and you totally go the other way. This is not good for the blanket term, if you will, the fandom menace or confiscate, this indie sphere, whatever you want to deem it, or the Cyron. Generally, a lot of central or conservative-minded people in regards to what's going on in Hollywood. You just had a hit piece by that Ripley site or whatever. I think the Washington Post actually did an article about the Phantom Menace last year, calling us like alt-right, hate group, all the ifs, phobes. And with the Snyder Cut, you've been having this, toxic fandom narrative about the Snyder Cut and his fans. And regardless if you add the conjecture of istisms, phobes, which is clearly not true, but it's kind of response when someone, gives you a layup, and this is your immediate go-to instead of thank you, and you just kind of, take your sentiment as it may. Personally, behind closed doors, kind of vent with your friends or something, but you go public, this undermines, like, well, who in Hollywood wants to come out and, if they kind of agree or something, why would they want to, work with anyone on this side? That's how I see it. If I'm wrong, then, let me know in the comments. But that's my general take on this Snyder Cut stream and the reaction afterwards by the people that were able to have it. I think this is just going to undermine general fandom and going forward. These channels, if people with other big channels that are more mainstream, approachable, or kind of centered, or they don't get in these kind of political realms or diversity discussions, they're going to see wind of this and just like, oh yeah, well, not going to work with those people. We don't got a lot of people on our side in the public sphere that have influence.